Heated shenanigans, working stiffer than mannequins. Vader time like a mannequin. Mega powers, I'm savage and peep the babbling. Got him shook off the verbal acumen. I'm the main event, meaning nobody coming after him. The topics we be tackling, ankle locking and tapping them. I hate seafood, but I might throw the Boston crab on him. You know sometimes it gets heated. You know sometimes it gets heated.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Heated Shenanigans Podcast. I am your host, Scott, and joining me today is one of the most revered men in all of professional wrestling, host of the Vince Russo, the brand, Mr. Vince Russo. Welcome in, sir.
What is going on, Scott? I am happy to be here with you today. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, man, another busy day in good old Lafayette, Indiana.
Yes. Is that by, what is Lafayette near?
Indianapolis, about 45 minutes.
45 minutes, okay. Are you born and raised there?
Unfortunately. What about you? I heard you're out in Colorado.
Yeah, man, I've been out in Colorado for quite some time now. I love it out here, bro. I mean, you know, the snow season is about to come, and, you know, shoveling isn't any fun, but I really, really love living out here.
I've heard it is beautiful weather, just magnificent scenery.
Yeah, you know, bro, that's the thing with me, you know, and I still have somewhat of a high stress level job. Man, when you could just hop in your car and just wherever you drive, you see mountains. I mean, it really, really does, you know, just relax you, man. It's great. That's why I love it.
Well, let's dive in here, Vince. Over the course of your career, you have been involved in some of the most talked about storylines in professional wrestling. However, I was wanting to know, out of all the history of professional wrestling, what would you say is the greatest story you have seen told in a wrestling ring? Not necessarily a match, but the psychology of what's being done in the ring.
Wow, man, that's a great question, because people usually ask me what I think my, you know, favorite storyline was. Man, bro, I'm trying to just think over the years. I really think, bro, the way the one that comes to mind like immediately, and I don't know why, is the Mega Powers, you know, with Hogan and Savage and Elizabeth, and Savage started getting jealous. I thought that was done really, really, really well at the time. And that's just the first one that comes to mind for me.
Well, that's a great answer. And that's one of the most talked about storylines in professional wrestling history.
Yeah. It was great, man. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It's so funny, bro, because, you know, I watch these shows today, and the second it's over, I forget it. But like something like that, I mean, I've remembered that for decades.
Hey, man, it stays with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of former WCW talent and the Mega Powers, I had a fan question submitted. I wanted to get it out of the way here in the beginning. Which locker room, Vince, would you say gave you the most difficult to work in from pitching ideas to? Was it WCW or WWE?
Oh, definitely WCW, man. Definitely. You know, bro, there were, I think this is the reason why. There were a lot of elder statesmen in WCW, and they were so paranoid about losing their spot to some of the younger talents that at the end of the day, man, they just didn't trust anybody. And no matter what you did, you were never going to earn their trust. So, you know, there were a few that were like that in WCW that at times, you know, definitely did make it challenging.
Say the style of booking that you had was really unique because you tried to get everybody involved, give everybody a slice of the pie, where more often than not, people really just zero in on the two top people, get them shoved down everybody's throat. How did that translate when you went from WWE to WCW, trying to make sure everybody had time on TV?
Not good, bro, because like I said, man, the people on top thought, you know, I remember once I read somewhere that, you know, Hogan made the comment, you know, that, oh, you know, bro, you know, Russo said, or somebody told him, or somebody overheard, you know, Russo saying that his objective was to get rid of all the older guys. Bro, I never said that, and that was never my objective. Every single company I worked at, bro, my objective was to get everybody over. That was my job, bro, was to assist every single person on that roster, because the more people that were over, the more money the company was going to make. It's really that simple, man.
And it's something that I had talked about with Shane Douglas on a prior episode was the new blood and how that was so perfectly set up for WCW to go on a 10, 15-year run. You have all these younger talent working with these stars, the established guys, and learning how to be a top guy, how to sell a certain way, how to make everything look crisp. What was it about the new blood angle that fell through and it wasn't as lucrative as what it really could have been?
Because the older talent didn't want to play. You know, bro, here's the problem. I think a lot of it had to do with the way some of the contracts were put together at WCW, because a lot of those contracts, you know, including Hogan, you got paid X amount of dollars if you were on TV. So they had to assure that they were on TV every single week. So in order for them to, you know, assure that, they were going to have to prevent some people from being, and that's basically what happened, bro. You know, man, it's, you know, to you and I who are regular people, it's really hard to comprehend just the level of paranoia. There is such a level of paranoia, and bro, these people in these spots will do anything to protect their position. And I really think that's what it came down to.
I would 100% agree with that. My favorite Vince Russo conspiracy theory story is you were sent by WWE to sabotage WCW.
Yeah. Meanwhile, bro, if anybody wants to look at the numbers, which everybody wants to talk about the numbers, but nobody shows factual numbers. Anybody can see that my first 3 months at WCW before I left, the ratings were up. All you have to look at, bro, is the 2 months prior to me getting there, the 2 months after me leaving, and you can clearly see that the numbers went up. So, you know, as far as that theory is concerned, well, bro, if that was the case, I guess I did a horrible job.
Yeah. So when it comes to your career and everything that you have contributed to professional wrestling, what would you say is one lesson that you learned in your career that you didn't expect to learn, and how did it change your career afterwards?
God, bro, the only lesson I really learned, to be honest with you, was I should never got in the business. I should have never got in the business. And I literally got in the business, bro, because at the time I had I owned my own businesses. I had 2 video stores. I loved it, bro. I loved being my own boss. I loved the entertainment industry. You know, it was a lot of fun for me, but unfortunately, you know, Blockbuster came along and put me out of business. So I needed to find a job. If I would have known what the wrestling business was really, really like, I definitely would not have gone down that path.
Let's say again, like it's such a divide when your name comes up to people, and I don't understand it because talking with you've been nothing but professional and kind and getting everything set up. And I was talking to Victoria a couple of months ago because she had you on her podcast, and she just revered you and had such positive things to say about you. I don't get it. I don't get where this rift, this divide is for the name.
Well, the divide comes from 2 places. Okay, I'll tell you. Let's talk about the Mark perspective. Two things, bro, from the Mark perspective. Number 1, bro, I hate to say this, and I'm not saying this to boast or brag because I really don't give a shit. I was so good in my role on television as that pompous, arrogant, a-hole New Yorker that people believed that that's who I was. To this day, people think that's who I am. As far as, people within the business, bro, my two biggest haters are probably Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff. And bro, and they were my peers. And bro, if you look at the history, both Dixie Carter and Vince McMahon chose me over Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette is not the kind of guy that's going to look in the mirror and say, why did they choose Russo over me? Jim Cornette is gonna put all the blame on me. I screwed him. I effed him. I did this. I did that. No, bro, you were difficult to work with. Okay, you were set in your ways. I was a little bit more open-minded and made it easier for Vince and Dixie. And as far as Eric, bro, let's face it. I was the guy literally responsible for his demise. I mean, the guy was sitting on top of the world. I started writing WWF television. You know what happened. Then they hired me for his spot. So that's all professional. That's all professional hatred, bro. And if any of the boys dislike me, again, bro, that's professional, because in their minds, they should have been the top guy. Bro, everybody thinks they should be the top guy, and you all should think you should be the top guy. There can only be one top guy. So a lot of it, bro, is just all, really with people inside the industry. That's just all, professional. That's just not seeing eye to eye on a professional level. And, like I said, the Cornettes and the Bischoff, when you look at the history, is it any surprise that either one of them hate me? And I want to say, for the record, bro, I don't hate either one of them. I got no reason, well, I mean, I think I have a lot of reason. I mean, they've said some nasty things about me, but I don't hate those guys whatsoever. But I think that really explains it, bro. 90% of the people I worked for, if you spoke to every single one of them, I promise you're going to get a positive response.
Yeah, like I said, it's the talent that I've worked with and had on here. They've never had anything negative at all to say.
Bro, Landstorm hates me. Why does Landstorm hate me? I never did anything to him personally. I never lied to him, nothing like that. Why does he hate me? Because he doesn't like my style of professional wrestling. Bro, is that a reason to hate somebody? Like seriously, bro, when I watch all these wrestling shows today and they're doing all this artistic performance that I totally disagree with. Do you think I hate these people? It's freaking ridiculous. No, I don't agree with that. I don't think that draws. I wouldn't write it that way, but I'm not going to hate you for doing it, bro. That to me is just ridiculous.
I would have to agree. Speaking of ridiculous and something that got completely out of hand, and I definitely wanted to get your input on, was the CM Punk debacle from AEW. Had that happened, that exact incident happened with you and, say, WCW, how would you have handled it backstage?
Oh, God, bro, we would have played that out at TV. Man, you would have had great TV. You wouldn't know what was live, what was Memorex, what was true, what was false. I would have had a field day with that, bro. I would have embraced that. You would have had at least a year of programming. At least a year of programming. In my opinion, man, what a missed opportunity.
That's a lot of money that they left walk right out the door.
A lot of money, bro. Can you imagine that? Just that first promo where you just gave the Bucks a live mic and see him. How do you pass that up, man?
You could have sold Wembley out on that match alone.
Oh my God, bro! What a missed opportunity, man. But when you're a writer, bro, and stuff like that happens, you are salivating at the mouth, man. You just got to get everybody in one room. And you got to say, listen, man, we are all going to work together. We are all going to make money. This is what we're going to do.
That's the name of the game, man, is making money.
Yep.
Now, today's wrestling is vastly different than what we grew up watching throughout the Attitude Era and the golden age of WWF, WWE. With the stars today, is there any in particular talent that you think if you would have had the opportunity to book during your run in WCW, WWE, you could have turned into a star?
Well, bro, I mean, I hate to say this because it's so sad. I would have given anything to work with Bray Wyatt. Oh my God, bro, they just could not write up to his level. He was smarter than them. That's the problem. I would have absolutely, positively, I would have loved to write that guy. There is no reason in the world that his legacy should not be equal to that of like The Undertaker. That's how gifted and that's how great that guy was. So, man, that was one guy I really, really wish I could have worked with.
Absolutely, and definitely going to be missed for years to come. Bray he was a rare talent.
Absolutely, man. Yep.
On other talent currently working, do you feel MJF or Roman Reigns is the bigger draw currently in professional wrestling?
I think Roman Reigns is, bro. And bro, a lot of that has to do with physical presence. The guy's a big dude, man. The guy's got movie star looks. I just think, he's just, again, because of the physical, I just think he's more believable than MJF. To take nothing away from MJF, bro, I think the dude is doing a great job, no question about it. But again, if I'm a casual fan and you're just putting these two together on the screen side by side, I would want to see Roman Reigns wrestle.
I would agree, and I like both of them. I don't have anything against either one of them. I think they're doing great for the companies that they're employed for. And when AEW may part ways with MJF in January, that man's going to have a hell of a payday coming his way from someone.
Yeah.
So I do understand that you are a Batman fan.
Oh yeah, man, big time.
Same here. If you could recast the 1960s Batman with any of today's actors or actresses, who would you cast as who?
Wow, bro, that's so hard because I do a Batman show every single week on russosbrand.com. It's called The Joker's Mustache. And they're all so good, bro. Like, they are all so good. But man, wow. That's tough, bro, because like every Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin, they were like just so all made for those parts, bro. It's just hard to see anybody else, playing those roles. What about you? I'd like to hear your opinion on that.
Well, I think for Mr. Freeze, Bryan Cranston stands out to me.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
I always thought that for Two-Face, Michael C. Hall could have been a very good Two-Face.
Yeah. I'm thinking too, bro, like, because so much of them had that comedic edge, you gotta get Will Ferrell in there somewhere. But I don't know who he would be, but you gotta get him in there somewhere.
Do you think he could take on a Cesar Romero Joker style?
Bro, anybody that you try to put in those shoes, you can't, bro. They're gonna fail in comparison. Even if it's Will Ferrell, like they're just gonna pale in comparison, bro.
Do you have a favorite? Do you watch any of the animated movies?
Not really. I'm only really a fan of the '66 series.
Hey, that's a good era of Batman.
Yeah. Oh God, it's great, bro. Great.
Look back, we don't really get that type of writing anymore either.
No, oh my God, bro, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
I think, and onto the Burgess Meredith, that man was born for the Penguin role.
All of them, bro. Frank Gorshin is the Riddler, like all of them. Freaking Vincent Price is Egghead. Like, Julie Newmar, of course, like all of them, bro. Like I cannot imagine anybody else in those roles.
You go back and look, and like you said, it's so perfectly matched, and their delivery, that's the other big thing, the delivery and the presence of the character.
Bro, you know what it is? And I think this is a problem with a lot of wrestlers today. Bro, it was on my bucket list to meet Adam West. And I'll tell you why I wanted to meet him, because I only wanted to ask him one question. And that question was like, how did you do that? Like, how did you do that so masterfully? How did you do that? So I got the opportunity to meet him. And I said, Mr. West, I just have to ask you one question. I said, how in God's name did you do that? And he said to me, bro, and this is what a lot of wrestlers miss. He said to me, the first time he read the script, he got it. He knew exactly what it was the first time he read the script. And I think, man, with so many of these wrestlers today, bro, like they don't know who they are. They have like no idea who their characters are, how they're supposed to act, what they're supposed to say, and they don't get it. And I think like that is the difference, man. Like Rock got who he was. Austin got who he was. You see so many people today, bro, in that middle mediocrity that just I look at them and I know they have no idea who they are. And if you don't know who you are, how the heck is the audience at home supposed to know who you are, man?
The other big thing is creating that connection. You got to make the fans feel something. You need to, whether that's hatred, love, relatability is key. And if you don't have that,
all about that, bro. If you are just another wrestler on the card, nobody's going to care about you, man.
Nope. Last question here, Vince, before we wrap this up. Then this was the final fan submitted question. Is the invasion angle with WWE is reviewed as the worst angle in professional wrestling because of what was missing? If you could have changed maybe one or two things to improve the invasion, what would you have done?
Yeah, bro, I did a whole video on that, man, for Kkayfabe Commentaries. I rebooked that whole angle. Bro, I would have used the top guys. Like, give me a break. What Vince they had the money at that point. Coming off the Attitude Era, they were doing really, really, really well. You can't do that angle without the top guys, bro. And whether it was they didn't want to pay the guys the money that they wanted, they didn't think they deserved it, they thought they could do it on a shoestring budget. Anybody could have told you, bro, that was not going to work with the top stars, bro. It was just not going to work.
And arguably the biggest mismatch was Austin Hogan that we never got.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, before we go, Vince, I want to give you the floor here. Do you have any upcoming projects or episodes coming out you'd like to promote?
Yeah, I want to promote something right now because there's a freebie, bro, since it's the holidays and Black Friday and all that stuff. If you have never subscribed to our Patreon program, and you go over to our Patreon right now, and it's patreon.com/Russo TWC. If you go there right now, you can get a free week of Russo's brand. Cost you nothing. Black Friday, our gift to you. So if you've never been a member of the Patreon, patreon.com/Russo TWC. Go there right now and you can get a free week of Russo's brand. And, for that week, bro, you'll get 12 to 15 shows with many, many, many wrestlers on there. And I think you'll really enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you so much, Mr. Russo, for taking time. And everybody, take care out there, and we will see you on the next episode.